Doing a spot all night. So everyone has their bubbly, they have their champagne. We got one more still here. Okay. Anyone else?
Bubbly.
We're good to go.
That worked.
Andy gave me the thumbs up.
We got an extra one.
All right, who's going first? Katie O'Ryan.
I think
John.
I know. I think we'll need more than one.
I'm looking for it tomorrow.
We're not bad answers. Don't blame us.
Awesome. So, marriage and love, true love, is what brings us together today. Julie really wanted me to say that in her speech. So, I remember when someone first asked me, when Julie asked me to be her maid of honor, they're like, well, how did she ask you? Well, I've known Julie for 23 years, 2 months, 8 days, 5 hours, and about 23 minutes, give or take. I tried to do the math beforehand. But actually, she didn't ask me after she got engaged. She asked me probably about a decade ago. She sat me down. She was probably, 13, 14. She goes, probably when she first discovered that there wasn't a thing as a maid of honor, she goes, Katie, when we get married, you're gonna be my maid of honor, and I'm gonna be yours. And that was the end of the discussion. And I really kind of forgot about that. I was like 12, 13, marriage is so far away. That's for old people. So I was like, no, yeah, well, okay, if you say so. And so, Julie gets engaged, and I'm like, I wonder if that's still good. Like, that thing she said way back then. And so, it was. And we just continued on. She never actually asked me. We went to a Christmas party, and one of my uncles was like, so Julie, like, how did you ask Katie? She's like, well, I didn't. Like, I just kind of assumed that she would do it for me. But, I would. So that was something that was great. In the beginning, Julie and I've got a great story about Julie taking charge with her decisions. So when Michael was younger, he had speech therapy. So we would go every single week, and Michael would go into his little room, and Julie and I would watch The Parent Trap. Every week. I don't know if he went multiple times a week, we'd watch it multiple times a week. and at a point, Julie was like, you know what, Katie? We should play The Parent Trap. And you gotta be the one who gets her hair cut. So just sit down real quick. So I remember, we were sitting down, she has the scissors, and I actually have a poem. I didn't write this poem. My cousin Abby wrote this poem. So this happened in 1992. So this is Julie cutting my hair. This is from her perspective. So Cutting Katie's Hair by Abby France. I smiled triumphantly as I got them. Scissors, I couldn't have done without them. Come here, I'm ready now, Kate, I said. Then I picked up a curl off her head. Snip, snip, snip. How I love that sound. As curl after curl fell to the ground. How stylish, I suddenly thought in shock, as I carefully removed the very last lock. There's nothing much left, I said to myself. Then I placed the scissors back on the shelf. Mom hollered up, "Are you girls having fun?" I said, "Mom, come look. You'll love what I've done." If you guys want to see a picture, got one. So that's again, Julie, she takes charge when she wants to do something, kudos to the Jeej, who did not laugh at me until after she had left the room. Then she, took me to a stylist, this is like a week before Christmas, and so, I'm in my velvet dress, and it just all had to go. Like, there was nothing to be done. So, after that bit of hazing, our friendship did grow, and when Julie first started seeing Will, I was always out of town for some godforsaken reason. I was always somewhere else. I almost didn't believe that he was real. Like, I'm seeing someone, really, Julie? Mm-hmm, okay. And so she's like, well, I'm going down to Louisville this weekend. And and where he's making me dinner, and I'm gonna bring dessert. I know, you're so excited for this story. So Julie doesn't know how to cook. So I was like, Julie, you really like this guy, so I'm gonna cook for you because we don't want to ruin this. So I decided to make turtle brownies, which are delicious. It's got caramel, nuts, brownies, it's delicious. But I forgot that Julie doesn't like brownies. She doesn't like nuts in her brownies. So she takes it down, and Will's like, oh, like this is delicious. Like, you know, do you want some? And she goes, no, I don't like nuts. and he goes, why did you make it with nuts then? And she goes, oh, I thought you'd like it. Smooth, real smooth. So my next story, and so if you guys were at the rehearsal dinner, you know that Will is a very competitive person. So on one of their relatively first dates, they played croquet, which is kind of the Robinson family game. And I'm not being egotistical when I say I'm the best. It's my game. And so Julie takes it down, and she's like, and he beat me. He kept just like hitting me like 40 feet away. I was really close to winning, but it just didn't work out. And I was like, okay, well I guess we can play. We can go to the park or something. Like, we live on a hill. We live on a house on a hill, and you can't play croquet at our house. But Will is like, no, let's play it in the backyard. I was like, Will, you can't play in the backyard. He's like, no, we can't. So there's like molehills, and like I cannot get past this first wicket. And he looks at me and he goes, I thought you were good at this game. And I was like, oh, is that what you just said? Game on. So, while he may have been ruthless with Julie, I was completely ruthless with him, and needless to say, I won that game.
Yeah!
So we did have a bit of a rocky start. I was not pleased with him insulting my game right off the bat. I did not really know him. I used a lot of colorful words when speaking with him, which he thought for the longest time, he's like, Katie's mouth, like, legitimately thought that about me. I was like, well, he shouldn't say things about my game. So, but honestly, in the past, 2 years that I've known you, Will, I've looked past that incident, and you've been the most supportive, calm, like accepting. You just come over to our house and you stay there for the weekend, and you see everything. So it's not like you come and we can all be on our best behavior. Like eventually we mess up and we're like crazy. Like we're shouting in the morning, the dogs are up barking, and you're there, and you come back the next weekend too. So I just like to say,
Not surprising.
I've
Is there
loved the
anything
time
unusual
that you've been
about
spending at our house. I can't wait till you just keep coming back, and I can't wait to visit you in Louisville or wherever you guys move to. I will be visiting, I will be bringing my dogs. We will be having a grand old time. I'm so glad that you're my brother.